Hello, I'm Carla. This is Pumla. She'll be joining me today. In today's class, we're doing some gentle back bends, nothing too hectic. You will want some props though, so grab yourself a bolster if you have it. A set of bricks is going to be useful, as well as a strap, a chair, a couple of blankets if you have them handy. And also we use these foams for shoulder balance. If you have one, great. If not, I'll give you an alternative what to do. So grab your props and meet me on the mat. Welcome back. So we're beginning sitting in Virasana. If you have any knee issues, take your blanket, spread it out, and when you go into Virasana, you're going to be with your knees right the way through to your toes on the blanket. If your ankle doesn't extend in this manner, take a few more blankets and allow the toes to hang over the edge so that the ankle isn't strained. You're going to sit in Virasana on some support. If you have a bolster, you're going to take a bolster lengthways behind you. And when you come to sit in Virasana, you're sitting with your knees on the blanket and only the buttocks on the bolster. If you do not have a bolster, you can sit on a couple of blankets and you want to potentially have your bricks behind you. When you sit in Virasana, don't sit all the way on the bolster. Sit only with the buttock edge on the bolster. Yours is fine. Knees are together as much as possible. For this Virasana, the feet are going straight back and you want to press into your toe mounds, lift your spine up, open up your chest. Feel that you are taking a length through the whole spine. So make sure that the back of the neck is long, the chest is well opened, and you're not leaning forward. Many of us will lean forward to shy away from the weight on the ankles, but keep the abdomen back, keep the spine tall, and in this quiet Virasana position, bring your hands into the prayer position. Let your eyes shut for a moment. And just feel your breath. Find a smooth rhythm to your breath that can carry you through your practice. With each inhalation, feeling that tallness in your spine, that extension right through to the crown of the head. Each exhalation, you keep the abdomen drawn back towards the spine. You keep the broadness across the collarbones. On the next exhalation, surrender your head to your heart and take a moment to honor and salute the divinity within. Let the hands fall onto your lap and gently lift up your head as you inhale and open your eyes. Then we're going to take the interlock of the fingers for Badangulyasana. So interlock your fingers right to the webbing, stretch the palms out in front of you, and keeping the fingers, the thumbs stretched, exhale, and on an inhalation, lift the arms up over your head. As you take the arms up, you want to keep the elbows locked, breathe. Once your arms are up, make sure you exhale, and as you exhale, exhale into the abdomen. Inhale, stretch right from the waist so that the side chest opens nicely. And on the next breath out, you can release your hands, relax your arms for a moment. Now you're going to change the cross of the fingers by taking the other index finger on top. The fingers are still at the back of the hand. Extend them out, and with the elbows locked, stretch the arms up. You want to extend the arms up and try to keep a softness in the top shoulder between the arms and the neck. Feel that lovely extension through the front body, and with each exhalation, a softness in the face, and allow the thighs as well as the buttocks to descend. Then on the exhalation, release your hands down, relax your shoulders, rest the arms. We're staying in Virasana to do a twist. So you're going to use your bolster to help you with your twist. When you come into the twist, you first take the hand on the middle of the bolster to assist you with tallness in the spine. Then you're going to take the hand right to the opposite side of the bolster if you can, to really help you to turn. So we're going to turn to the right side first, lift your spine up tall. Lifting your spine tall, we're going to turn to the right first. On the exhalation, take your right hand behind you, and your left arm is going to cross your body and hold your right thigh. It's not the left shoulder that comes forward, it's the shoulder blade. You want to keep this broadness in the collarbones and open the chest. For starters, when you do a twist, keep your head in line with your breastbone so that you're not tempted to only turn the neck. Now, inhale, stretch up, and as you exhale, turn that whole shoulder girdle against the stability of the pelvic girdle and move your hand to the outside of the bolster. Now, when you've turned your head, you're going to keep the abdomen soft, keep the spine tall, be there for a breath or two with each exhalation, trying to get a little bit more ringing out of the spine. And then on the exhalation, release back to the center. Quiet in here for a few breaths where you're lengthening both sides of the body, extending the spine. Knees and thighs down with this tallness in the spine. Exhale and turn to the left. And as you turn to the left, you're gripping the thigh. You've got the bolster to support you. And as you turn your body. Don't just turn your head. Keep your head facing your breastbone. Chin in line with the breastbone. And from here, turn the body. The head turns so easily. You want to turn your body first. And then the last thing to go is the head. And you can widen the elbows a little bit to get openness in the chest. On the exhalation, release and come back to the center. Great job. To release your knees and your ankles, you can come forward onto all fours and just take one leg back at a time, just extending the legs. And then we're going to come to Adho Mukha Virasana. So in Adho Mukha Virasana, let me just remove this blanket. Your toes are together and your knees are apart. You can face me that way. So Adho Mukha Virasana is a low position with your toes together and the knees apart on your feet. You're going to widen the knees only enough for the inner thigh to support the side body. And as you exhale, extend your arms forward to Adho Mukha Virasana. You're going to keep your buttocks grounded. So keeping the buttocks grounded, stretch forward to Adho Mukha Virasana. Pumla is able to get her head on the floor. You might not be able to, that's fine. Ideally, you want to keep this lengthening of the buttock flesh down to keep the buttocks grounded on the heels. If the buttocks come up, you're welcome to take a blanket underneath. But we're not going to be here for very long. We are going to use Adho Mukha Virasana quite a lot today, though, as a restorative pose. And then when you've had this lovely stretch of the buttock flesh down towards the heels, extend your arms forward as much as you can. Extend the rib cage forward, the side ribs extend forward so that there's lengthening and spreading and quietness in the abdomen. And now walk your hands back towards your knees to come up. And we're going to go to Pajva. So I'm going to ask Pumla just to turn to face that way. And in Pajva, Pajva means to the side. So it's the same pose, Adho Mukha Virasana. And as you come into your Adho Mukha Virasana, go forward to Adho Mukha Virasana. Buttocks are down, abdomen and sides of the body are low down towards the thighs. To come to Pajva, you need to lift a little bit and then walk your hands over to the right. So bringing your hands back slightly, lift up, turn to the right, and allow the abdomen to turn from left to right, extending both arms out. So this left arm is going to stretch massively. The right side of the body must stretch also. You can let go your head, and you will notice that not so much here, but often the left side of the body wants to lift up. You want to control the left ribs and kidney down so that the back is level and spread. Now you're going to come up slightly, go back to the central position, and then extend yourself over to the left side. And as you stretch to the left, this right side of the body is going to get long. You need to lengthen the left side as much as the right side. And on each exhalation, you're turning the abdomen from the right to the left so that this side of the back on the right side can descend. So this is Pajva Virasana to the side. Now, take your hands back in line with your two knees. walk your hands back to come upright. We're going to come to Chaturangasana, which is basically being on all fours. So coming onto all fours, we are doing the cat and cow pose. Now, in the cat and cow pose, when you go into the pose, you're not just waggling your spine and letting your spine be jarred. You want to find extension in the front body, and that will bring a curvature in the back. You want to find a movement of the front body to bring the curvature of the back body, so the roundness of the back body. So from all fours, knees are underneath the hips, hands are underneath the shoulders, and your spine is in a neutral position. Keep the neck as an extension of the spine. So when you come to happy cat, keep the thighs back and the buttocks over the knees, and bring your breastbone through towards your hands. Lift your breastbone forward towards me. Breastbone forward this way. Yes. Not so much the chin, quieten the throat. Bring the breastbone more. And in that movement, you arch the back. Try to keep the buttocks in line with the knees. And when you've been there for a few breaths, now you're going to go to angry cat. So as you exhale, draw the abdomen back and feel the rounding of the back there. Push into the hands to open the back body completely. Abdomen is in its place. Breathe, don't hold the breath. When you're ready for the next inhalation, again, it's not just dropping the spine, but pull your chest through on the inhalation. You can hold it for a breath or two there, where you're taking small inhalations and exhalations. Then on the next exhalation, rounding the back. We're doing these poses to warm up the back for our back bends, to warm up the spine. When you've done one more cat and cow, inhaling as there's an arch in the back, and as you exhale, a nice deep curvature, but with control of the abdomen. Then come back to a neutral position. Now we're going to work on the toe work for going from downward dog to upward facing dog. So if you bring yourself just forward here, you're going to stick, come onto all fours. Bring your hands onto all fours. So you're going to come back to Chaturangasana here. Now we are working on the foot position for upward dog, going into downward dog and downward dog to upward dog. So she's going to extend one leg out completely and stretch into the heel. Then you're going to come onto the tippy toes like a ballerina, roll over the toes to come onto the top of the foot. And then lifting the knee off the floor again, the knee off the floor, roll to the back of the toes, and then roll forward and over the tippy toes to come forward. So you can continue. So this just warms up the toes, warms up the feet, and gets you used to rolling over the feet, which is quite a challenge for many of us. Once you've warmed up the one foot, you're going to do the same on the other foot. So you have to extend it out, really stretch the foot, and then you roll over the tippy toes like a ballerina onto the toenails, onto the top of the foot, like upward facing dog. Over the tippy toes to the pads of the toes, like downward facing dog. When you've done a few of those, warming up the feet and just getting that action, we're not going to go into that just yet, but it's just so that you've got the imprint in your body. And now turn both feet under and come to downward facing dog. So you might need to take your hands a little bit forward or your feet back, especially if you were in that Chaturangasana position where you're on all fours. But here you're pressing into the hands, keeping the elbows and the arms firm. You're lengthening the spine. Throughout back bends, you want to keep that length of the spine. We're not going to turn over the feet. We're going to come to a nice high upward facing dog. So keeping that extension of the back of the legs, come to an upward facing dog. So come forward and pull yourself through, buttocks down, legs are strong, buttocks down, knees are not on the floor, buttocks down, lift your chest, upward dog, arms are straight, breathe. Now with these straight, strong legs, the feet are already turned, go back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. In downward facing dog, feel the stretch of the spine. We're warming up into the shoulders now. So again, engage the legs, charge the arms, come forward to upward facing dog. And in upward facing dog, lift your chest, but tuck the tailbone under, legs are strong, let the buttocks descend, don't hold the breath. When you're ready, you push off into downward facing dog. And then we can release in Adho Mukha Virasana. Anytime you need to release in Adho Mukha Virasana, you go for it, you release in Adho Mukha Virasana. We're coming now to Bhujangasana. Bhujangasana is the cobra. We're going to do the cobra with the elbows bent so that the chest is opening and we're not aggravating the back by extending the arms. In Bhujangasana, the pelvis stays on the floor. So the back is a little bit jammed if you try and straighten the arms. So come to lie on your abdomen. If you're super bony and your mat is very thin, you can put a blanket under the pelvis. Classically, for laying down back bends, the feet are together. If your back is challenged in any way, don't keep the feet together, keep the back spread. I'm going to touch you on your back. So you need this length in the spine. Where babies get these two dimples, that flesh of the buttocks has to descend. Keep that flesh of the buttock moving towards the feet and the tailbone grounded. Now, elbows have to come toward each other, not out. And you pull the elbows towards the knees. You'll already feel the chest want to open. And then continue lifting the chest. Lift the chest, curl the upper back like a cobra. Open the chest, broaden across the collarbones. Keep the back of the neck quite long so that there's softness in the throat. Don't hold the breath in a back bend. Keep that length of the upper buttock towards the heels. And when you've been there for a few breaths, you can exhale and release, and we'll repeat. So once you've released, if there's any aching in the back, make sure you've created that length by releasing the buttock flesh down and having a spread in the upper back thigh. So don't take the feet together if your back is an issue for you. Once more, pressing into the hands, use the inhalation to find buoyancy in the chest, come to Bhujangasana. Hold Bhujangasana, not the breath. It's very hard to hold the pose without holding the breath. So don't hold the breath, breathe. Full inhalations and exhalations, they might be shorter than normal, but breathe in and out. When you've been in Bhujangasana for a few breaths, you can exhale slowly, lower yourself down. You lower down slowly so that you work on strengthening the arms for poses like Chaturanga. Right, from here, we're coming to upward facing dog. Now, in upward facing dog, all the same actions apply to the legs. You need that length of the legs, the feet either together or apart. You want that movement of the buttocks, that tucking in of the tailbone. In Bhujangasana, the cobra, the hands are in line next to the chest. In Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog, we bring the hands back in line with the base of the rib cage. To make this downward dog, this upward dog rather, a little bit easier, I'm giving Pumla a set of bricks at the sides. So now when she comes up, the thighs and the knees must lift also. So it's like Bhujangasana in the chest, but absolutely straight arms and the pelvis is lifted off the floor. As you exhale, at the end of the exhalation, push off the bricks and use the inhalation to come up to upward facing dog. Lift the arms, lock the elbows, lift the legs, upward facing dog. You can drag your feet closer, your hips closer towards your blocks if you want. That's good. Let the buttock descend. Let that be length in the back waist. And now lift your chest. Lift your chest, lift your chest. You can look up slightly. And then when you need to come down with control, bend the elbows and come down. See if you can keep the knees off the floor until the last minute. But when you need to, you bend your knees and you put your knees on the floor and you come all the way down. So while Pumla rests, I just want to show, many of us come into these back bends and we lift our shoulders up. You want to lift the breastbone up and keep the shoulders back, keep a spread across the upper back. So once more, if the brick was helpful for you, you can use the brick. We're going to show classic Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, where the hands are flat on the floor next to your rib cage. So hands on the floor next to the rib cage. Prepare the legs, be on your toenails. You extend the legs completely, you keep the legs firm, and when you lift up, the legs and the pelvis lift also. So as you exhale, push off and use the inhalation to come up. Lock your elbows, lift your chest. It's a back bend, so allow the thighs to become heavy. Open the chest. The flesh of the buttocks moves towards the toes. Don't hold your breath, keep breathing. And in your own time, when you're ready, you can exhale and slowly begin your descent down. Put your knees on the floor if you need to. Absolutely go down with control until you reach the floor. Right. We're going to now go from this upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, into downward facing dog. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to go from the upward facing dog position, and we're going to turn over the toes to come to downward dog. So move a little bit forward on your mat there. Right. With the toes turned under, hands back by your rib cage, come to upward facing dog. And then you're going to try that roll over the feet. Knees are off the floor. Inhale, and as you exhale, see, can you come up like a ballerina, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Excellent. So you might need to adjust your feet. So now we're going to try and go from downward facing dog into upward facing dog. This one I find a little bit harder. It might be your easy one, but engage the legs, lift the buttocks, create lightness so that there's not a lot of weight over the feet when you come over the feet. Lift your chest to upward dog, drop the buttocks to upward dog, broaden the collarbones, complete your upward dog. And last one, see, can you push back over the toes into downward dog? If you can't, you just flip your feet, yeah? From here, release into Adho Mukha Virasana, a nice, well-deserved Adho Mukha Virasana. So take your knees to the floor, widen the knees, toes together, buttocks back, and just allow your arms to rest for a moment. Once you're recovered, you're going to come up, and we're going to do a couple of standing poses. Virabhadrasana 1 is our first pose, Warrior 1. So Warrior 1, there's various ways you can go into it. We're going to go into it from a beginner's way. Standing with your feet together in the middle of your mat. Okay, you can face that way. So you're going to come to stand in Tadasana in the middle of your mat. Now, with your hands on your hips, check that your hips are facing forward. And we're going to first just separate the legs, step the right foot forward, the left foot back, 2 straight legs. Left foot back, nice big step. Left foot back, yes, a bigger step. So now, you want to turn the hips to face the front of your mat still. Virabhadrasana 1 is a standing pose, but it's sometimes classified as a back bend because there's this back bending action. The buttock flesh has to still descend down. I do still think you need to widen your legs a little bit more. So now, this back leg has to turn, not the foot. The leg has to turn to get that left hip forward. Then extend your arms up to Urdhva Hastasana. Try to keep your body upright, buttocks down. As you exhale, slide from the buttock towards the right knee and bend. You want to come to a 90-degree bend and keep your hips facing forward. Stretch your arms up, lift your chest. Exhale, bend a little bit more. Good job. Be firm on that right heel, not on the toes. If it's within your practice to look up, you can look up and take your palms together. Keep the buttocks down, keep the back leg grounded. When you're ready to come up, lift your chest a little bit more and move back. When you're ready to come up, you straighten the front leg, you push back with the back leg, and you can release your arms. And then step your feet together to Tadasana. Right. Once you've recovered in Tadasana, again, keeping the hips level, you're going to take your right foot or left foot a big step forward. Much bigger. Yes, this back foot has to come back a bit more and it has to be angled. Although the foot is angled and you're trying to get the hip to come forward, turn the whole leg. Front leg is straight to start off with. You want the legs nicely wide to get an angle with that front leg. Now, once you've got your balance, lift the abdomen, tuck the buttocks under. Extend the arms up. Keep this lift of the abdomen. Don't lean forward. And as you exhale, lengthen the lumbar spine and bend that front knee. Don't go with the leg. Don't go with the leg. Stay upright. Bend. Bend. Good job. When you're bending, you try not to lean forward. Lift yourself up. Lift yourself up. Breathe. The back leg is strong. The front leg is bending. When you come up, the back leg has to lift. Your arms lift, and that front leg has to straighten. So when you're ready, you can look up. You can extend the arms, extend the spine a little bit more, and then in your own time, press into that front foot and up you come. Straighten the leg, straighten the front leg, and bring your feet together. You can step forward. It's easier to step forward than it is to step back. So anytime you're coming out of the pose, you step forward, you step back. Right. So I'm going to show you how you do the classic pose. And for this next one, we are going to use the strap. When it comes to Virabhadrasana 1, many people are nervous to take the legs wide. The legs must be wide. From Virabhadrasana 1, you come from Virabhadrasana. The body stays upright and you bend to a 90-degree bend. So the buttock must descend, back leg is straight, and you mustn't lean forward. You're lifting up. This back leg has to turn, and that's the challenge in Virabhadrasana 1, one of the many challenges. So what we're going to do, we're taking a strap on the left leg. The left leg is going to be the back leg, and I want the buckle on the inner thigh. So when you place the strap at your leg, you're placing it mid-thigh, and you're tightening it, that the buckle is in line with the seam of your pants. Then you've got this tail end of the strap out of the way, right? So we're going to go right leg to the right, spread your legs wide, face the front, do like I did just now, take the legs wide, really nice and wide here. And then you're going to extend your arms out to Vimasana. Here already, Pumla is going to hold her own strap. She can feel by pulling that strap that the thigh wants to turn. From here, turn both legs to the right. Take your arms up over your head. Turn this back foot. Turn your hips. Turn the arms up overhead. Take the arms up overhead. And now bend the front knee. And as you bend, the strap is helping to turn the thigh. The strap is helping you to stay upright. Bend, lift your abdomen, descend the buttocks, breathe. When you're ready to come up, pull on the strap, lift your own arms, lift your spine, and straighten the front leg to come up. And then you can turn the feet to the center, and we're going to let go of the strap. Bring your feet together in Tadasana. Recover for a few breaths in Tadasana. Then again, you're turning the strap so that the tail end is facing back. So get it on your thigh. Tighten it as much as you can so that it's not cutting off circulation, but that it's nice and snug, and grab a hold of it from behind so that it's causing the thigh to turn already. Now widen the legs for Virabhadrasana 1. Vimasana arms. When you turn your hips, you turn both legs to the left. Vimasana, turn. Turn that back foot, turn the hips, turn to me, turn the back leg from the strap, lift your chest. Once you've got hold of the strap, bend the front knee, and then feel, can I bend the front knee? Can I keep the abdomen lifted? And is that back thigh wrapping itself from inside to outside? Don't hold the breath. Try to keep your body upright. Don't lean forward. When you've been there for a few breaths, you can look up and then straighten up and then come out of it and remove your strap. Bring your feet just together. Be in Tadasana for a moment where you can just recover and relax. We are going to go to Natarajasana. So the same way we had the arms overhead now for Virabhadrasana 1 is what we're doing in Natarajasana. You want to make sure that your knee, when you come into Natarajasana, isn't going to swing out to the side. So if you have very poor balance, you're going to go against the wall. I'll show you. You're going to hold, your strap is holding your foot already. You get yourself close to the wall where the support hems your leg in, and then you're going to lift yourself up to Natarajasana there. Otherwise, if you want to try and balance for yourself, you're going to come away from the wall, come to the middle of your mat. We will stand on the left leg first, and the strap is on the right leg. So right foot. So stand in Tadasana first. Right, the strap is on. Take your arms overhead, hold the strap. So first, get your arms as low down as possible. Many people want to straighten the arms. You want to get your arms as low down as possible. Bend the elbows, get that. Then feel that lengthening of the buttock flesh down. When you're ready, you're going to lift up the right leg, balancing on the left leg, and walk down the arms as much as possible. If you're against the wall, the knee is hemmed in by the wall. Pumla's having to do that on her own. And once you're as far as you're going to get, see, can you kick this right foot away from the buttock a little bit and lift this right thigh up as if you're aiming to put it on a stool. Don't hold the breath. Feel a few cycles of breath there. And when you are ready to come out, you slowly let go of the strap, release that leg, and make your way back to Tadasana. Good balance. So obviously, the more you practice, the better you're going to get at it, the longer you're going to be able to hold it. And at some stage, if you're particularly bendy, you might even be able to hold your foot behind your head. So when you're ready from Tadasana, you've got your strap, take your arms overhead and just be there for a moment with your chest open, armpits open. Then when you're ready, bend the left leg, walk your hands down the strap, feel that you're secure. Once you're secure, lift that left knee. Where the strap was in Virabhadrasana 1, turning that inner thigh up, it's the same rotation of that inner thigh that you had now in Virabhadrasana 1. When you've held Natarajasana to the best of your ability, to your capacity, kick the foot away if you can. Then you're going to release and come down and just be in Tadasana for a breath or two. If Shirshasana, the head balance, is in your practice, you're going to pause the video now and do your Shirshasana, and then come and join us for Dhanurasana. So Dhanurasana, there's a few ways you can go into Dhanurasana. Have your strap nearby. For the first one, you may or may not need it. And if you're very slender, quite bony, it's quite useful to put a blanket on the mat. So you're going to lie down on the blanket on your abdomen. So lie on your tummy, hey? Yeah. Dhanurasana is the bow, and you want to hold onto the feet with the arms overhead. Most of us aren't able to do that. So for beginners, you're going to bend up your legs and bring your feet close to your buttocks. You still want to remember that lengthening of the spine. Take your hands and reach them back to hold onto the feet. Ideally, you want to, with practice, reach both of them together. Then, if I pull on Pumla's feet like a lever, her chest will come up. The big job is to also get the knees up. So inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to lift yourself up. Kick the feet away from the bum. Think of what you were doing in Natarajasana. Get a lift of the thighs, a lift of the chest. Don't hold the breath. Keep breathing. Lift your head a little bit so that the chest is free. And when you've been there for a few breaths, when you need to release, you come down, you let go, because we are going to be repeating it. If you're unable to hold your ankles like Pumla is, you make a little circle with your strap, then bending up your legs, you put the strap around the front of the ankles. It can be a little bit challenging to try and hook the strap on for yourself, but then in the same way, with this grip on the strap, you're able to come up. If you're able, let go now. If you're able to hold your feet, once more, see, can you bring both hands together and then lift to Dhanurasana one more time. Do not hold the breath in back bends. Keep feeling that the buttocks are moving away from the back waist. Lift your chest, breathe, and When you've been there for a few breaths, exploring the pose, you can come down. Dhanurasana, if you're able to hold your feet over your head, is ideally what you're going for. We're going to use a strap in the same way that we did Natarajasana. So bending up the legs, you're going to strap your 2 feet together. Then Pumla is going to put her forehead on the floor, take her arms up overhead and hold the strap. Like you did in Natarajasana, walk as low down as you can. Then when you're as low as you're going to go, lift up your arms, lift up your feet, and come to Dhanurasana. Breathe as much as you can. Try to get that buttock flesh to move. Don't hold the breath. Can you lift the legs, lift the arms, lift up tall? And when you've been there and you've completed the pose, you slide the hands down. Don't give yourself rope burn. Slide the hands down to release the legs, and then you release the legs and you let go. Come now to Adho Mukha Virasana to release. Toes are together, knees are wide, releasing Adho Mukha Virasana. To lengthen the back, to stretch out the back. So knees are wide, toes are together. You can turn your toes under, let the buttocks come to the heels, and just rest there for a moment. If Adho Mukha Virasana gives you a nice release, but isn't that sufficient, then you're going to come away from your blanket, come to downward facing dog. Downward facing dog gives this lovely release of the back body, a stretch of the back body. So if those back bends did catch you a little bit, we're going to release in a moment, but we're just going to do downward facing dog here. And then back to Adho Mukha Virasana. So knees to the ground, toes together, knees apart, rest in Adho Mukha Virasana. We are releasing our backs in first
chair Bharadvajasana.
So grab yourself a chair and you're coming to sit sideways on your chair with the backrest at your right side. So sit sideways, facing that way. Don't be right on the chair, so you're a little bit off the chair, so that's perfect. So you got space here. You want to keep the knees and the feet together as much as possible. Don't obsess about that. One of the ways you can gauge is what your buttock bones are doing on the chair. So keeping the buttock bones even, extend your spine, lift up your chest, and as you exhale, you're going to bring the right hand behind you, the left hand across, and you're turning towards the backrest. And you can use the backrest, the left hand can pull you. You can use the right hand on the seat of the chair or on the backrest to push so that you can get a little bit of a twist, a release of the spine. Good job with your knees, Pumla. If having the hand on the backrest brings the right shoulder up, then you take the right hand down and you allow a little bit more of an openness in the back body. From here, come back to the center, turn around, face the side so that the left side is against the chair. Yeah. So first up, you want to lift up tall, feel the 2 buttock bones, get the knees even, feet together. With this extended spine, you're going to exhale and turn towards the chair. At first, you can hold the backrest. This hand is pushing and the right hand is pulling so that you can get a twist. You pull with the right hand, you push with the left hand. You can see Pumla's shoulder comes up here. So for her, it's better to, once she's got this twist, bring the hand down so that there's freedom here. And don't hold the breath when you do your twist. Keep the spine extended when you do your twist. Feel those back muscles releasing when you do your twist. When you've done this side for the same length of time as the other side, you're going to turn around. And again, we're coming to sit on our bolster like we did at the beginning of our practice. If you do not have a bolster, sit on some blankets or some height and have bricks behind you. So Pumla's got a bolster. She's starting in Virasana, but actually we're going to come to Bharadvajasana. We just did chair Bharadvajasana, so it's similar, but seated on the floor. You're going to take your feet to the side like a mermaid. So you're turning to the right side first. You're going to take your feet to the left. Yes. So your left foot must be on top of your right arch. For some people, we only support one buttock, but we're using the bolster to support both buttocks today. And then keeping your spine tall, your chest open, you turn away from your feet, so you're turning to the right, turn towards me. And as you turn, like we did at the beginning of our practice, you're using your knee with one hand and you're using your bolster with the other hand to help get a twist. Don't lean to the bolster. Both buttocks are grounded. Lift your chest, turn, and just be there for a few breaths. We're going to repeat this very same twist to the right-hand side again, but this time we're going to use the strap. So when you're ready, place your strap around the top of your left arm, and you bring your hand behind you to clasp the upper arm if you're able to, or to hold the strap if you've got your strap. Now, exhale, turn, and turn to the right. So the left arm comes as close to that right upper arm as possible. And when you turn, that's where most of us get stuck, where the strap is a lot easier. Once you've done this side, you're going to unturn yourself back to center, extend the legs in Dandasana. You can remove your strap. And then we'll come to taking the feet to the right so that we can turn to the left. So the first one we're going to do with the use of the hands. Good. Try to keep the knees close. Lift your spine. Keep the buttocks even on the bolster. If you're tipping madly, you might need a little bit more height. See how you do. Now, from here, with the spine extended, you're turning away from your feet. So turn to the left. Right hand goes across to grab the knee. The left hand is making use of that bolster to get a twist. The chest is nice and open, the spine is extended, and you're not holding your breath. And with each inhalation, you lift up tall. With each exhalation, you twist, and you get that extension of those back muscles. And then when you've been there for a few breaths, you're going to again. So you first take your left arm right behind your back, and you try and hold onto your upper arm. But once you start turning, if the arm comes unglued and you're unable to keep a grip, that's where the strap is useful. So now she's holding the strap. Hook your fingers into the strap and then lift up your chest, exhale and turn. So now, because she's got the strap, she's able to get that side of the body to come around a lot more. So sometimes, take the props, use the props. They will help you to get a better action. The arm wrapped around helps to get the chest nice and open. When you've done a few cycles of this Bharadvajasana, you're going to release back to the center and extend the legs out in Dandasana. If you are doing shoulder balance, if you did head balance, you'll be doing shoulder balance. You can do chair shoulder balance or classic shoulder balance. You're going to pause the video now so that you can do your shoulder balance, and then you'll come and meet us back on the mat, where we are doing a release, a forward bend release called Paschimottanasana. Now, Paschimottanasana, you can sit on blankets. If you have shoulder balance foams, you can sit on that. Or if you have a bolster, you can sit on a bolster. A bolster, if you're very flexible, might be too much height. So you have to decide and gauge for yourself. Pumla is going to sit on a foam and a blanket. 2 folded blankets would have sufficed as well. She's spacing her legs in Dandasana. So sitting on the support, legs out in front in Dandasana. If you are very, very, very tight, you might need to put your chair so close to you, and you might need to have a bolster, and then you can rest on the bolster in Paschimottanasana. If you're a little bit more flexible than that, you're going to take your chair away from you and then see, can you extend to the seat of the chair? And bring the chair forward or back. Pumla is very flexible, however, her spine is little. So to get the head supported, you might need to bring the chair closer to you or further away from you. Relax the shoulders here. There must be softness. in the neck, the jaw, the shoulders. We're just releasing the back. Paschimottanasana is a lovely release after twists, after back bends, after shoulder balance. So just allow the body to be quiet here. Although it's a forward bend, you're not forcing it. There's a softness to this forward extension. Already you're resting the head so that there's quietness in the forehead, and you're releasing from the hairline down so that there's quietness in the brain. And it's with this quietness in the brain that we're going to make our way to Shavasana. So the first Shavasana, come up from Paschimottanasana. You're going to keep your chair. You are also going to keep the blanket for your head. So come off your supports. You're going to lie down with your head on the blanket and your legs rested on the chair. So you have to get close to your chair. Then once the legs are on the chair, let's just put it in the middle. Yeah. Get the head to support the head and the neck, not underneath the shoulders. Any hair or ponytail, we must move out the way. And then you're just going to lie down flat. You can turn the palms to face up like classic Shavasana and let the knees just separate as they will. Don't force it. Let the legs just come to a quiet Shavasana state. Closing the eyes. Use this bent leg Shavasana to get a release of the back. So you want to feel that the back body is lengthened along the floor, and it's easier when the knees are bent or the legs raised in this manner. Let the breath settle the back into the floor so that there's a quietness already in this pose so that the back is released. Often we will start going into Shavasana with the legs bent so that you can get this release of the back body and this quietness in the abdomen. And if you really are loving chair Shavasana, you're welcome to stay in chair Shavasana. We are finishing off in flat Shavasana. So you would need to roll to your side. I can just remove Pumla's chair so she can straighten her legs, but you would need to roll to the side, move your chair out the way, and then bring yourself to Shavasana. Once you're in Shavasana, let the feet fall out towards the small toe side so that there's no tightness in the groins, in the thighs. With each exhalation, allow a softness in the abdomen, softness in the chest and the shoulders. And with each exhalation, just feel your back releasing to the floor, a quietness coming to your body. And if you can, keep your focus on your body, on your breath. Try not to let your thoughts sort of run away ahead of you. Soft inhalations, peaceful, gentle exhalations. You may stay here for as long as you'd like to, or as long as you have time for. We've come to the end of our practice though, so bring your hands to rest anywhere on your torso where it's comfortable for you. Here again, connecting back with your body and your breath. And on the next breath in, stretch your arms over your head, give your body a long, deep stretch, bending the knees, roll onto your right hand side. You can keep your head cradled in your right arm. The knees can come in that fetal position. You're just resting the left side of the body, holding you in Shavasana for a moment longer. When you're ready, you bring the head up last. So pressing into the left hand, pull yourself up to a seated position. Once you are seated in a comfortable position, close your eyes once again. Bring the hands into the prayer position. And with a small smile on your face, take a moment to give thanks for the health and strength of your body. On the next breath in, gently allow the eyes to flutter open and focus. Namaste. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, Pumla. See you next time.